So it's Father's Day. You got a dad?
He's dead.
God, that sucks, dude.
My father been dead for like over 20 fucking years, man.
Here's to dads.
Here's to dead dads.
That was my name on the Soul Calibur machine.
Dead dad.
It's also been my password up until I had to change it because every single...
They make you change your password and all that bullshit. And you can't keep it the same.
Right. So I ended up never having any combination of dead dad that could make me happy or that I felt confident with. So I retired the password.
What made you choose dead dad? That's pretty morbid.
I don't know, but I mean, it's weird because all of my emails and passwords and things like that were always kind of messed up because I thought it was cool as a kid.
Okay.
To do cool, weird shit.
Okay.
But, like, later on in life, it kind of bit me in the ass. Like, when CPS was like, what's your email? And I was like, dying loved one at gmail.com.
That's why you gotta have a base email for all.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's why you got to.
They're like, dying loved one. That's kind of morbid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Why don't you write it in your little fucking book?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Death wish.
Let's put this little guy up here. He doesn't need to be.
Yeah, it's funny you said that though, because like on that same Soul Calibur machine, I had a character on there called He'll Die, so I ain't no better.
My Ivy's name was Mother Dead Child. Remember that one?
I don't remember that one.
No.
Like, it was certain ones I remember.
Cervantes was Dead Child.
Makes sense. I understand the correlation.
And
even though it's kind of backwards, like Cervantes was her father.
Right, I know, and I don't know exactly. I made Cervantes first.
It is what it is.
And I didn't actually do it to, like, match them.
Okay.
I didn't name it like that to match them. But, and yeah, like, it kind of makes me think about the topic of what I was going to say today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could say, like, yeah, it is cool, huh? I did that on purpose. And, like, take credit for it and try to seem cooler based off something that I really didn't do on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really realize Cervantes and her were related at the time when we played it. And,
yeah.
You know, it took a while for me to learn that shit.
You had to go through the story and all that shit. Man.
Right. But it was just a fluke, you know? And I think that a lot of guys are dealing with that today on Father's Day. Now, number one, hey, Dad, happy Father's Day. You know? And what more can be said about that? But there's some people who don't really have...
Well, I mean, you could always say, hey, thanks for skeeting in, Mom. I'm here. You could always say that. Very, very crude and shit, but, you could say it.
You know what it makes me think about? It makes me think about how you react when anybody mentions your mom in that type of way. So...
I apologize, Mom. Dad can take that shit. I know he can, but I apologize, Mom. I take that back.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you could still say thanks for donating the sperm, Dad. That's not as bad and, doesn't include Mom.
Thanks for sucking at pulling out.
If you had to think of a random percentile between 0 and 100, how many offspring in the United States do you think are a product of a whack pullout game? Just off the top of the head, what do you think?
Yeah, lots, especially
random
now.
Percentile between 0 to 100%.
Well, it depends on the age group because like the generations like kind of after us were way looser.
Yeah, I mean, just what do you think? Just spit out a number. It's okay. Doesn't have to be right. Just curious.
I don't even know what. I don't know what to think.
I think like at least 70%.
Oh, pull out game, pull out failures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 30, 40%.
I think way higher.
I think a lot of people plan, or they just don't pull out. I think pull out is a common technique that is effective sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely effective sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not always
Yeah.
used.
This
I mean,
is
I mean, the porn industry is nothing but pull out. You put your face here. You know what I mean? Like,
true. Goddamn. Go from Father's Day to porn. Great segue.
well, I mean, all of us had dads, and everybody knew
Like, Happy
where
Father's Day. Skeet, 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 skeet.
everybody knew where the magazine collection was. You know what I mean? Like dad's nudie mags. You know what
Yeah, I mean, well, not everyone, because, like you said, the generations after us, nah, they don't know shit about that. You know what I'm saying? They don't know shit about that.
Right. And as long as they never get the password
Yeah,
to the phone.
all they know is Pornhub. You know what I'm saying? And every goddamn porn site that's out there. I mean, you don't even have to go to fucking Pornhub anymore. You just make a fucking Twitter account and find that shit at this point, man. And somebody told me Tumblr was the same fucking way. I was like, God damn.
All right, backing out of the porn thing, I want to talk about dads right now who aren't with their kids, the different levels that there are, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not with my kid. So to say Happy Father's Day to me seems to me to be patronizing, not even true. It may be like, hey, I feel something for you, Andy, and I want to say Happy Father's Day to you,
Yeah.
but I'm not there, right?
You don't get any solace in that shit.
Right,
Yeah.
and I also don't get any credit
Yeah.
for being there.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to take credit for that. And that's something that used to bother me back in the day about some of my friends who had baby mamas.
Yeah.
And they were always with us, always hanging out on the street with us, never with their kid, but would always try to lecture about fatherhood and being a father. And on Father's Day, they would always try to make it about them and all this shit. But clearly, they're just with us all the time. They're choosing not to be that. And that used to bother me. You know what I mean? Like, I can feel for somebody who truly wants to be with their kids and can't be with their kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I also have a message for those people, which is just buck up and get through it. Because really, crying, it's not going to help. You know what I mean? The only thing that's really going to help is making yourself stronger for the situation.
Yeah, I got you, but at the same token, bro, it's still a fucking emotion, man. You can't suppress that shit, man. You gotta feel what you feel. You gotta allow a person to feel what they feel.
Is that
Now,
even
if they wallow in it, is a different story.
But see, my problem with that is that I've been in this position many times, and I've noticed that, I mean, a high percentage of people don't allow me to have my own emotions or be the way I want to be or feel the way I want to feel. And oftentimes showing like sadness and shit like that has been to my detriment.
Because of judgment, or you mean detrimental from your own analysis of yourself? Because and the reason why I asked that question is because, like you said, that people don't allow it. Like, who are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm not. It's just it's either understood or it's not. I mean, as far as like,
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but like,
go straight to your father who wants you to be this instead of that. You know what I mean?
I can't do that, but go ahead.
Or your mom who wants you to go here instead of here with your life. You know, anybody who you know. Then it goes to your girl number 1, girl number 2, girl number 3, who all have ideas of how they want you to be.
Yeah, see, I don't vibe off shit like that, man. Because like for me, I mean, people can suggest, all they want. They can give advice all they want. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, you your own person, you make your own choices. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's kind of a cop out. What about the friends?
Come on.
What about the friends that want to be like, wait, your choices are wrong? See, I mean,
Okay, see,
I find value in a person who says, I'm not going to be your friend if you keep fucking up.
okay, but see, that right there, like what you just explained in that phrase is different. At least the way I internalize it. from what you were saying before. You know what I mean? Like, don't do this or don't be that type of person versus, this action that you're doing is detrimental to yourself. So you might wanna cut that out or just nigga stop that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess I go really far with it. It's almost to a Scientology level, which is surround yourself with the people that you want to be like. You know what I mean? And anybody around you that is not living up to that standard, try to help them up if you want to stay around them. If not,
I get where you're going with that, man, but that's a tricky fucking thing to pull off, man. You know what I mean? Because like the thing is, like the whole idea, the whole mindset, the phrase, it has a lot of credence. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody is on the same level as you. Not everybody operate the same way. Everybody gets shit done at the same pace, at the same speed. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got the same wherewithal for shit. So it's like, you look at that and it's like, okay, well, should you give them some time and, you got a year to get your shit together, my nigga. If you don't, I'm cutting you the fuck off. You know what I mean? Then that makes you look like a very poor friend. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And, some people don't give a flying fuck about what other people think, but like, when it's your own friend, be like, damn, dog, that's how you really feel about me and shit? If you don't feel some type of way about that shit, then maybe you were never their friend to begin with. You understand what I'm saying?
right. And that leads to the how many friends do you actually have, as opposed to how many people actually say the word friend.
I think it's more towards the latter. Like, especially the way like words, like the meanings of words get misconstrued and stretched, and like I'm talking about stretched like razor thin nowadays. You know what I'm saying? I think that applies in the same way. That's why for the longest, bro. Like I've always said, I don't have friends. You know what I'm saying? I've always said I don't have friends. I got acquaintances.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? I got fam, and I got my family. You know what I'm saying? I don't have friends.
Well, see, that almost takes you down my road of sociopathism, which is like, basically, I only have enemies. Everyone else is equal.
That's not what the fuck I just said at all.
No, but I'm saying everyone else is equal. I don't have friends. Everyone's equal, right? I don't have friends.
No, I don't.
But I do have it. You have to have enemies.
But see, for me in my head, I don't process it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like the main reason why I don't like, well, I'm gonna say, I stopped, and to this day I don't like using the word friend, is because people you consider your friends will fuck you over. You know what I mean? But at the same token, family can also fuck you over, and I've experienced that too. You know what I mean? But what I've learned over the years is when you develop a bond with a person or persons, it like in my opinion, it transcends like, committing cardinal sins against one another. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe there are exceptions to the rule, like, fucking somebody's girl or their baby mom and stuff like that. But the thing is, like, when you got that type of relationship with your homies and shit, my nigga, that's something you don't touch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't fucking cross that line. It don't even need to be said. Because I got respect for my mans and them. I already know better. You understand what I'm saying?
Honestly, it's because I know how fucking crazy dudes are when it comes to pussy.
I just gave that as one example.
I know.
There are others. Like, okay, like, for example, like, previous podcast, we was talking about, like, me and the mama jokes and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know me long enough to know that I don't play that shit. So because of that, it ain't because you have some, inward fear that I'm going to go to fuck off if you do it type deal. You just, you just respect me enough to not do that shit.
Nah, I would do it, but I just think that you're crazy.
Seriously?
I would say like mama jokes. I think that my release from being such a fucking like crazy person is that I let it out. I let out every little fucking thing.
That's where we're polar opposites in that way, because I hold a lot in too much.
Yeah, and maybe I let out too much, right? But that takes us to two far ends of the spectrum. Yeah. One end being like way less stressful.
But you know what's funny though? is that, while that could be true on both ends, like one could be perceived as less stressful to one, you know what I mean, but could be perceived as more stressful to another, you know what I'm saying? But one thing we can both agree on is that on both ends of that spectrum, it can be very detrimental in the long run. And that's crazy. That's crazy when you think about it. Like, saying too much or going too far versus holding too much in.
Well,
both of them can be fucking self-destructive.
That's where I am with most of my friends. Every friend I have, every one of them, even like Uzi, even some of my exes.
So you're talking about girls specifically?
Nope, friends.
Okay, even me.
Yes.
Okay.
We have certain points and topics where there is no connection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't think that's a bad thing, though. I don't think that's a bad thing.
But with everybody I know, there's a certain thing that I've tried to say and make them think or understand that they won't. You know what I mean? A lot of times, it has to do with
something that y'all disagree on.
Well,
or could you, or
more
could you
specifically,
go ahead.
More specifically, it has to do with the pursuit of pussy.
Okay.
So I have 3 friends who are desperately trying to make sure they have it, right? And this goes back to what we were just talking about, how things can be detrimental in the long run. Mm-hmm. Only after you get old enough to have seen at least one long run do you even get it.
Yeah. Do
you then start waging all of your decisions for now on how it's going to affect you later?
Yeah, having amassed a certain amount of experience, yeah.
Well, enough experience to know that what you do now has effects later that snowball.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that can change your life. Like I got a buddy who, in the pursuit of relationships and family, literally got rid of every cool thing. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, okay, when you have a kid and your kid goes off to college, you're going to wish you had your old cool stuff. You know what I mean? Like, don't give it all away. Everything that's cool about you, the only thing you're going to keep is khakis and work clothes. Like, nah, man. Remember who you are.
I'm going to tell you something. I think another thing that falls into that same category is, like, I mean, this is, intersexual. It could be male or female. It doesn't matter. But, like, when you go into a relationship and then the other person tries to change who you are, you know what I'm saying? Same fucking shit. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest with you, bro, that's one thing that I've had constant struggles with in the females that I chose in my life, man. And, calling me making bad choices and having bad taste in chicks, call it just a fucking crazy ass pattern of the same shit with a lot of different fucking females. I don't have the answer, but that's something that's been consistent, but it's also been something that, like, a nigga fought kicking and screaming, I mean, bro, I even got a goddamn song about the shit. You know what I mean? Fucking the same pressure. Because I'm the same, nigga. If I was dead or alive, I'd be the same, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
No, if you were dead, you would be, like, literally the quietest, nerdiest motherfucker in the graveyard. You would just be laying there just like, with your teeth out, just like,
But, I mean, you understand what I'm saying, man. But it's just like I don't get why people try to do that, because it's like, then they want to change you into something else, and then the moment you acquiesce to that shit, then they don't want you.
Well, that's the thing.
Like, I mean, that's not what made you want to get with me.
Well, think about it from an animal perspective, okay? If you're a female animal wants a certain type of male that shows all the proper characteristics. The male that has all the right fucking moves gets all the right females. You know what I mean? Gets the ones, at least, that he wants. They chase him, mostly, in the animal kingdom. Now, our women are no different, but there literally are no perfect males. So they have to grab one and make it into that in order to feel safe. They do not feel safe with the men that exist today. And they have to change everyone
maybe into what, a pussified version of himself,
into
an emasculated version of himself,
what they don't,
into a dickless version of himself.
Until
a spineless version of himself,
until it's something that they no longer want.
The fuck, yeah, I mean that's straight sabotage. The fuck, my nigga, that's sabotage. It's like I want you to be this to feel safe. Okay, now you're this. Now I don't want you.
It's insanity.
Yes, it is,
and it shows that we as a people on this planet right now are so off of our vibrational patterns that we can't figure out what's left and right. We can't see the forest for the trees. We can't figure out where to go left and right, and at any point, it's like we're all in a giant maze and we're all in a different spot. You know what I mean? Nobody's in the same spot thinking like, how do we get out of this?
That's a big ass fucking maze.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, what if you're in the middle?
You're gonna die.
How are you gonna find your way out?
You're gonna die.
If it's that big,
you're gonna die. But the thing is, if it's that big, when you get out, where do you go? You know what's gonna happen? Like, after having been in that for so long, you're gonna find the exit and look back, because that's all you're gonna know is home.
Yeah, at the end, you may escape, but it literally would be like somebody who finally managed to jump high enough to get off the earth and float away, and then they realize that they're just completely alone.
Yeah,
they miss those assholes. They miss the assholes. Like, we are the assholes that we hate. You know what I mean? Like, and no matter how much we try to like pump ourselves up to be better than everyone else,
do you believe that you do that?
We make the same mistakes.
Do you believe that you do that?
No, because
I don't believe I do that.
I think that it's hard not to with your basic instinct, but if you try hard enough, you can avoid being that way. But you have to try. Like, I was thinking to myself today, I was like, okay, virtue. What if we were going to hire somebody? I got a lighter, man. I got a lighter. What if we were going to hire somebody, right, to work, and we were doing interviews and stuff?
Okay.
My first instinct was virtue's going to be like, show up and be like, yeah, what's up? And it's going to be like the enforcer. You know what I mean? That enforcer, like, attitude that initially, like, pops out. Like,
but see, the reason why you think that is because you've never seen me at work. You know what I'm saying? You've never seen me being a professional. All you know is street nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, street niggas still exist in a suit and tie and shit, but, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know proper decorum in the workplace. You know what I mean? Which is an ironic thing, but I'm not even gonna fucking go there.
This is not even the type of a workplace that has a decorum. It's not even a work.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so you think like we were going to an interview to interview somebody and shit, I'm gonna be mugging them and acting stupid and shit. Like, come on, man. Like the idea is not to scare people away. You know what I mean? But for some reason I happen to be so good at it, and I'm not even trying to. That's the fucked up part.
Oh, we both have the same exact issue. Is that like most bosses don't want to look us in the eye, let alone yell at us. You know what I mean? Like, for something.
They just certain pussified people, you know, because my nigga, when I used to work for FedEx, bro, like, nigga, me and my boss, who was younger than me, we got into screaming holler matches and shit. You know what I'm saying? It just, you know what I mean? Just the way certain type of motherfuckers are wired when it comes to whether it's blue collar, white collar.
Can I ask you, was your boss at FedEx black?
Mm-mm.
He was white?
Nope.
Spanish?
Nope.
Dude, he just blew me out of the water. That was like 3 shotgun blasts. Was he white? Was he black? Was he Spanish? Headshot! Right? I'm not even going to say Asian.
No. He was Iraqi. Yeah. He was Iraqi. From Iraq. You know what I'm saying?
The last one I would pick, by the way.
But see, you also have to understand the mindset of people that grew up in Iraq, especially over the past 20 years.
They give zero fucks.
Yeah.
They give zero fucks.
Yeah, like,
if he was Russian, I would say, he probably is.
A screaming match ain't shit to them. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing. That's base level. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like in the street.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like the thing is, it's like, you know, even though we had our disagreements and shit like that, we always knew what needed to get done. You know what I'm saying? Just, sometimes, we got on each other's nerves in the pursuit of getting the job done. You know what I'm saying? That's being a professional. You know what I'm saying? Not on boss's ass cheeks and shit like that. Nah.
Well, that's one of the reasons I enjoy working at print shops, because
it's blue collar, bro.
The deadline mentality,
yeah,
it gets people to where they don't give a fuck anymore, and they're just trying to get
the shit done. Yeah,
right.
I got you.
That's what I like. And my boss, the boss that I was just working for, that shut down because of COVID-19. Yeah. Covert 19. Yeah. Anyway.
Pandemic.
Yeah, he was the type that would really, man, if he saw anything, he'll call you out. And it was almost like a friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's the type of person that I don't...
Yeah, I know. Shit.
That's the type of person that I don't mind taking orders from.
Yeah.
I don't mind when they have a bad day and get mad and start cussing. I don't care. As a matter of fact, like, if I had a bad day and wanted to cuss, I'd like to be able to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. I'd like to be able to stop my machine and go, fuck! And leave, smoke a cigarette, come back in and be like, leave me the fuck alone. Let me just...
But just right back at it.
Right.
Right back at it. Like, I know what needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? But... The second level to that is also knowing that you can't do that. You have to hold reserve. If, for example, you in the front and you dealing with a customer or some shit, you know what I'm saying? You gotta hold reserve. You gotta know the difference between the two. You know what I mean? Some people haven't mastered that because they lack proper self-control. You know what I'm saying? But again, this can be another one of those cases where the definition has been stretched so thin that nobody knows what means what.
Confidence is key. It's all about confidence. And that took me a lot of time. Working with people, it took me a long time to get to the point where I could be stoned and they wouldn't know it. And they'd still think great customer service. But like, I remember in the very beginning working with people, and being myself, I never went to work sober. I just wasn't that type of person.
Okay.
Anything you want me to do, if I'm hired and you bring me on the job, the project, the system, the setup, I'm going to be smoking before I walk in the door. I'm going to be like, I'm going to walk in the door like, when I come in. Right? And... I'm going to that's how I'm going to operate. Okay? In the very beginning, having to deal with people that way, it was like, they know I'm high. And then I would make a weird comment, and then they would go like, this is weird. And then I'd be like, oh, this is weird too. You know what I mean? Like, oh, God, everything's weird. Oh,
you say that all out?
No, not really. But I'm just saying that was like how the vibe was back and forth between me and the customers. It'd be like, oh, I got to get out of here. I just dip. Yeah. Tell somebody else to go handle it or something. But eventually I got to the point where it was just like, no matter what. I think the key is just like the Hulk. Remember when they asked, like, David Banner, how is it that you stay? Yeah. He was like, I'm always angry.
Always angry, yeah.
Right. Well, how is it that you can function when you're high? Because I'm always high. All the time when you see me functioning,
I'm high.
I'm smacked.
Like, I'm high.
Yeah, it's... Call me damaged. Hey, let me just say this. If you knew that I was, like, on my last leg and the only thing keeping me running was olive oil, would you give me olive oil?
Yes.
All right. Well, that's how it is with weed. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but see, then some would say you have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because
I do have a problem. I'm dying. I've been alive 43 years, and I have, like, muscle and joint problems. I bet you some of my guts are purple. I bet you something's going on,
Okay.
right? And that's all of us. So what do I do to counteract the fucking craziness that goes on in my
I
head?
self-medicate.
I smoke some weed. And then I don't fucking flip out, and I let out all my fucking weird thoughts into the air through song, art.
Through creative outlets. Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I understand. But like the only reason why I would say someone said you have a problem was because I was going to say is this is a substance that was foreign to you from the day you were born.
Correct, and I would agree I have a problem. But the problem is not specifically the medication.
I understand what you said. The problem is greater than the remedy.
Right.
Yeah, I got you. I understand. But, like, the thing is, like, I only bring that up just because, like, it's pertinent to spit out there how we could say the man, public opinion, liberal mindset gone awry or run amok, you know what I'm saying, would look at that shit and be ready to dissect it and tell you about yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course, somebody would want... If I was important, if I was Logan Paul and I said some shit like that, you would have a million fucking Facebook therapists trying to give you their version of what it means and why you're fucked up for it. Some people would be sticking up for me, saying, like, no, that's actually way better.
Right,
than like
being addicted to fucking opiates,
right,
or other types of pills and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Which brings us.
But that's a whole bigger issue.
Which brings us back to Father's Day. You want to know why I'm so damaged in the brain? Because I went through a 2-year battle to get my kids out of foster care custody, and they wanted my kids so bad. And I'm just going to say this again for the millionth time on my podcasts. My sons were the only 2 white boys. And they were fucking front and center on foster care's, like...
Probably front page, every damn piece of promotional material they could put out on social media and all of that shit.
No. They were... I'm just saying on their priority list...
They were A1.
They had everyone on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they were trying to... clean that shit up real quick. Yeah.
Let me just say, okay?
Go ahead,
so fucking, I went through all of this to get to save them basically from a fate which I thought was going to be very bad for them. The 2 foster parents that they had them with, I believed them to be sick people. Yeah. So in order to get them back out of the picture, I left. Yeah. And I signed out. Signed out for the night. I clocked out. Officially off the clock. Right?
And that was the only way that it could be done.
The only way.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna tell you something.
They tricked me though.
I'm gonna tell you something though. I got you. Because we had.
I could have done it had I known and then got a separate place. That would have been fixed. If I just had my own apartment as opposed to a family home, if I had 2 places, then I could have walked away from that thing like the king, but nobody told me that. Yeah. Nobody.
It'd be like that too, you know what I'm saying? You don't find out certain shit until it fucking happened to you. You know what I'm saying? I've had experience like that with the system also. But I'm gonna tell you something though. To your point, what you just explained, that was the reason why I hit you up and said Happy Father's Day. That was the reason. Because, like, if anybody hears that's a father and can't respect that, you know what I'm saying? Something's wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a father saying that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any kids. I'm not.
And believe me, I haven't counted my children out.
I got you.
It's not over.
I got you. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean, bro? That's like, other than death, that's probably the ultimate sacrifice a man can make for his children.
Do you know what? Here. You know what reminds me? On a daily basis. These 2 toys. Because I bought these 2 toys. For them. Yeah. And I never saw them. I bought it was a Christmas. It was Christmas. These are Christmas presents. And I still have them. and I will give them to them. I don't care if they are 90-year-old men and I'm in a cryo chamber. I will give them these. You feel me? Like,
I got you, bro.
So,
you believe in your fatherhood, man. I'm with you. I understand.
Back to Father's Day. Some of us, no matter, back to Father's Day. No matter what the feeling you're having today, do what I do and think about the child or the father in Palestine right now who lost all of their family and will never see them again. That outweighs my trauma of not seeing my kids for 6 years and still not being up on the ladder high enough to get them back. I just need money, you know what I mean, to fight. That beats my trauma, and it beats anybody else's trauma who may just not be seeing their kid today, or who may be having a fight, or who may be having like a baby mama issue that's unreconcilable, you know?
Or having irreconcilable differences with their children.
Correct. Your child may hate you. You know what I mean? You may hate your child. There is no book, there is no rule that says anybody has to love anybody in this world. If you have any feelings, today is for those people who have feelings of love for their children. If you're a man, okay, and you have feelings of love for your children, today is your day. Genders be damned. Okay? On Mother's Day, it was for any woman who has a child and feelings for the child. Okay? Doesn't matter if you just have a kid. Because as I seen in a commercial a long time ago, any man can be a father, but not any man can be a dad. Or was it the opposite way? Either way, you get my drift. Any man can make a baby.
Just because you can bust a nut don't mean you got what it take to take care of it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, shit, your dad fucked your face up.
Yeah.
Like, crashed a car with you in it.
This shit, yeah.
And then died.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, man. Why am I laughing about that?
That's the harsh truth, though, bro.
You know, I'm laughing because I think sometimes, like, what if I died and my kids never saw me again?